Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with a little different video today, because today it is not gonna be a competitive league event. Today I'm here with my very good friend Thamer, and we have some spicy news. Thamer, I think we can say it like that, right?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Rip. But yeah, this is a very interesting piece of news. I don't know if it's, it might be true, it might not be, but it's a leak on the Italian Amazon page, and it shows us the first combat pack of MK1. It shows us which characters are going to be in it.
That is right, guys. So as always, take it with a grain of salt. That is not confirmed by any means, but I think this is so exciting that we definitely have to talk about it real quick. And we decided, you know what, to keep you guys updated, we're gonna record a video for you guys real quick. But yes, I mean, we had the trailer yesterday, right? The big announcement after so many years of waiting, and it was a lot of information at once. Even though it was just a CGI trailer, right? We still got a lot of information about the game modes, cameo fighters, all that stuff. And yeah, today we can show you something pretty cool, because someone did a big mistake, Thamer. I think someone is gonna get fired, guys.
For sure. I feel like this is so common with NRS games. There is always leaks of the DLCs. I don't know how this keeps happening.
That is right. So, you know what, guys? We're just gonna show you, because we don't want to clickbait anything. Here it is on the Italian Amazon page. There is the Mortal Kombat 1 Premium Edition for sale. And you guys are probably saying, yeah, okay, it is 110 bucks. What is so important here, Thamer?
It's at the very bottom.
Guys.
That's the fine print.
Guys.
And it tells you what the Premium Edition includes, which it includes Combat Pack 1, and it tells you what's going to be in Combat Pack 1. It's going to be 6 new characters: Quan Chi, Omni-Man, Ermac, Peacemaker, Takeda, and then Homelander. And not only that, on top of that, there's going to be 5 new cameo characters: Thamer, Johnny Cage, Chameleon, Mavado, and Farah.
That is...
And it also mentions the Jean-Claude Van Damme skin for Johnny Cage.
Yeah, just to give it a little bit of, inside knowledge here. So this definitely looks like a trustworthy source, in my opinion. And if we look at the characters, I mean, we had years ago people mentioned, man, we want Homelander in Mortal Kombat, because in my opinion as well, Thamer, this character fits perfectly.
Fits so well. He's perfect.
Into the franchise. But now seeing these OGs, Quan Chi, Omni-Man, Ermac, of course, how many people want Ermac back as a playable character, right? Last time we saw him in MKX.
See, oh my god, I want him so bad.
He's on Thamer's wishlist as well. But my question, and maybe Thamer, you have an answer here. We see Johnny Cage as a cameo fighter, and I originally thought that cameo fighters are going to be different from the main roster. What is your thought on this? Because I think we already have revealed that Johnny is going to be a main roster character as well, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much how everybody understood it, because the way they explained it in the FAQ on the Mortal Kombat website, they mentioned that there's going to be the main roster of main characters that you can actually play as, and then there's going to be a roster of cameo characters. And that roster will include the 5 DLCs that we just mentioned. Weirdly, one of them is Johnny Cage, who already has been announced as a main character.
Right.
So I guess between the cameo roster and the main roster, there can be like similar characters. So Johnny Cage is going to be a main character, and there's going to be a Johnny Cage cameo character. So does that mean I can choose Johnny Cage as my main and then have Johnny as an assist character? Like, I don't know how that's going to work.
Okay,
maybe it's like a different version of Johnny within the same timeline. So maybe you can have like the young Johnny as your main character, and then maybe the old Johnny as an assist. That could be how it's going to work. I really don't know, but it should be interesting.
That is definitely interesting how they're gonna solve it, because I originally thought, you know what, it is separated. We have main characters, a main roster of characters, and then we can spice it up. I hopefully they get rid of the variation system, because I know a lot of people don't like it at all. We want complete characters, and then you can spice it up with those tag team or cameo fighters. But having access to characters in the main roster and as a cameo, that sounds interesting. I'm curious how they're gonna solve it in the end.
Yeah, and there's some other interesting pieces of information here. So one of the DLC characters is Takeda. Takeda, if you don't know him, he's one of the younger, newer generation of characters that were in MKX.
Yeah.
So if Takeda's in the game, that means potentially we can have the other young characters as well, like Cassie Cage and Jackie Briggs and Kung Jin. Like personally, when I first saw the trailer and saw how Liu Kang basically reset the timeline, I thought, okay, so that probably means that these younger characters like Cassie and Jackie won't exist in this universe anymore. But since Takeda is announced in this leak, that means potentially these other characters could be in the game as well, and that makes me very happy. Obviously, I like on the top of my wish list, I want to see Cassie Cage. She's my MK11 main. I want to have her in MK1, and my hopes were crushed when I saw that the timeline was reset. But based on this, she could still make it, Rip. She might still be in MK1. We might have Cassie.
That is a very, very good point. Yeah, you are right, because everyone expected, right, that all these characters are not gonna be in there. But after seeing this leak now, guys, it might be completely different, and it is exciting. It is gonna be a good time for all fighting game players, in my opinion, because we have a lot of great titles coming up. And Thamer, here, as your final thought, how did they manage to keep such a big game, apparently, right? That's what it looks like. So hidden, no leaks whatsoever before we saw that big trailer yesterday. I wonder how many how many years they are working on this game.
Yeah, I mean, we waited for, I think there's been 4 years between MK11 and Mortal Kombat 1, which is a very long time with very little any like interaction with the community, any announcements, until we got that announcement from the CEO in that Teams call. You remember that leak?
Yeah, I remember.
And he announced that, the next Mortal Kombat game will be coming out this year. And that was the first piece of news we got, which was 4 years since MK11 released, which is crazy to think about. But I'm glad we finally have it, and I'm very, very hyped for this game.
Here as a last thing, of course, Thamer and me, we have a very competitive approach at the game, right? Me being a tournament organizer for the game, I'm very, very curious how this cameo system is gonna be implemented. Do you think that you can choose between different modes? Or do you think it's gonna be a fixed or a standard part of the new game? That means cameo is enabled by default.
Yeah, because the thing is, right now, like, we don't really know too much about the cameo system. Some people have mentioned that it might just be Towers of Time again, right? Like, we have no confirmation that it's gonna be enabled in the competitive game modes, right? It could be just for Towers of Time or just for story mode, or who knows. So we don't actually know for sure, but I'm guessing, especially since there's DLC cameos, if they expect people to pay money to get more cameo characters, they're definitely going to be parts of the main game, right? Like, they're going to be parts of the like, you can play them in competitive modes. So I'm sure they're parts of the main game. And I just think it's really interesting how they're going to balance it, because if you think about it, we used to have like 20 something characters, or maybe around 30, each of them with 3 variations. So that's 60 variations that you need to balance, right? And then with custom variations, we had way more. It became even harder to balance. Now we're going to have about, let's say, 20 something characters, plus imagine we can have 10 or 20 cameo characters. Like, imagine all the possible combinations, and imagine how difficult it's going to be to balance all of them. So it's going to be really interesting how it's going to turn out. I think it might be difficult to balance, at least at the beginning.
I think so as well, because it might be the case when we take a look at other games as well. Project L, right, who I think announced that they're gonna be a tag team fighter as well, where you can have 2 characters at the same time to give more possibilities, right, more combo routes and whatsoever. It is gonna be very, very, very interesting to see how it's gonna be implemented in MK1 and how the community is gonna react to it as well, because back then we had the discussion on all social media, Twitter, people saying, man, I want tag team back. Right?
Yeah, we haven't had the proper tag team mode in a fighting game in a long time. Like, I think it used to be way more common, and we didn't get one for a very long time. Like, the newest edition of Street Fighter obviously doesn't have it. Tekken obviously doesn't have it. Maybe some of the anime fighters might have had it that maybe I don't know too well. I know Guilty Gear Strive did not have it. So pretty much all of the mainline entries are missing this tag team game mode, even though it's highly requested. So maybe Mortal Kombat, they want to seize this opportunity. They want to enter or fill this gap in the market to be like a tag team fighter, even though it's not a traditional tag team. It's going to be a cameo system. We have no idea how it's gonna work, but we'll see. We'll see how they do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. But guys, just like that, we wanted to record this real quick for you guys in case you missed it. And let us know in the comments. Do you personally like the cameo system, or do you say, you know what, I just want that good old school 1v1 feeling? I'm curious. Let's see what the community thinks, guys. But for now, Thamer and me, we are out. And as soon as we get more infos or new infos, we're gonna post it here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.